Welcome to the final word, joined by Mike in the studio. Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Disappointing defeat at Goodison Park last night. For me, easily Everton's worst performance of the season. Forget about the results, just the performance I thought was really poor last night.
Yeah. Basically, you can't really disagree with it. I think, obviously there was a few at the start of the season before we got the players in that weren't necessarily the best performances. Sort of Forest at home, one great, whatnot. But yeah, I think this tops it. It was a little bit disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, obviously United at home, results earlier in the day. Meant Everton could have gone up to 6th, I think, with a win, gone above United. And you're looking at it, the way the crowd have been, we knew it was going to be under the light. There was a bus welcome, and we've been quite solid. And playing against the United team that let 8 goals in a week, we knew the threat on the counter attack. We knew that, and we knew that they've got good players in attacking areas. So you have to make sure you're tight and you don't give things away. And unfortunately, it didn't go like that. The manager made a change before the game, brought in Anthony Gordon instead of Dwight McNeil, which personally I wouldn't have done that. I was asked this on Friday, what would you do? And I'd have left McNeil in, because I was looking at it thinking, if it's tight, Anthony Gordon's a really good impact sub.
Yeah.
With the running, running at them when the game's, the game's kind of maybe slowing down a little bit, but the manager chose Gordon.
It's a tough one, innit, because I think McNeil's he scored obviously against Southampton. Performance wasn't great, I don't think. Albeit once he switched over to the left-hand side, it improved. Yeah. You would think off the back of Gordon's last few performances before the game, McNeil had probably maybe just done enough to keep the place. And I agree. I think coming off the bench at the minute with his conditioning problems, well, he seems to have. Maybe those last 20 minutes or something might be something to do. And obviously, just from a defensive, protective perspective, McNeil's obviously a little bit more cautious and wary from that side of things. So, yeah, I was a little bit surprised at that. I was, yeah.
But Everton had the perfect start. Thought we come out, thought it was quite noisy, which is good. We come out and we showed high energy, good pressing. Won the ball back a couple of times, and then obviously Onana makes a really good tackle on Casemiro, and we break from it. And Alex Iwobi scores his first ever goal from outside the box in the Premier League. And
is it?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, something he should do more often, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It was brilliant. It was, like you say, we started the game and it was, we got into the atmosphere, the players were straight at it, were straight on it, and I was excited. I could feel the energy. You're thinking, we're up for this. Then you get that goal, obviously, someone who's a bit of a fan's favourite at the minute, so for him to score it was great, because you just want him to get the numbers to go with the performances.
Yeah.
So absolutely fantastic strike, nothing their keeper could do about it. I thought Onana done well in, like you say, winning that ball, nice and strong and aggressive. And at that moment, it was all looking rosy. We looked energetic, we looked aggressive. We got the goal, and like you say, now that team, you think being a bit fragile, having conceded 8 in the last week, now they're into 9 goals in a week they've conceded, and then boom, we just completely and utterly retreat into our own half, and I have no idea why. I honestly, I don't know whether it was a manager's tactic or the player's decision, or I don't know, but for whatever reason, we gave up every ounce of momentum that we had in that game, and we gave them it, and I don't know why.
No, it was weird. Well, let's just have a look at the goal, because the stills of the goal, before anyone gets too excited. It was an example of Everton, pressing and being nice and aggressive. And we've got Onana circled here, and he nicks the ball. Well, doesn't nick it, it's a really good tackle on Casemiro, and Demarai Gray got the arrow there of where he's going to run into, which is exactly what happens. Now he's driving at them. And at first, I thought he was just going to drive between the two of them, because look at the gap between the two centre-backs. Maupay makes a good run to the left and opens the pitch up for him. But he kind of done what Demarai Gray does, which is slow it down a little bit. And then he eventually tries to thread it through to Gordon, but it comes out to Alex Iwobi in the next one. And there's Iwobi lining up the shot. But on this one, there's only Anthony Gordon really who's carried on a run into the box. Maupay has hung out to the left. And I think something Everton need to do better, which is, Gueye for me needs to continue his run. He just stood on the edge of the box, but, you know, because if De Gea parries it, we've got one man and 5 of them, but, you know, he doesn't parry it because we move it on. This is Iwobi bending it brilliantly. We move on again, and it's going past De Gea, and then there's that one, the final one, which is a tremendous shot, which is him in mid-flight and the ball over him. And it was, you know, you just said there, Mike, it's something Alex Iwobi needs to do more often. We've seen him on international duty a couple of weeks ago, Ben one in for Nigeria, and I think it's something he's really got to do. When he kind of swings at it, he normally skies it, but he's got that power, the nice measured.
That's the word, measured.
It is a measured shot, and I'd seen Thomas Partey kind of scored one a couple of weeks ago in the derby against Spurs, and you know, maybe that's where Iwobi needs to get in. I'd like to see him having 3 or 4 of them again, you know, test the keeper. I
think Lampard's challenged him to that, hasn't he? Obviously, the new position for him this season is going to enable him to pick up those pockets of space for him to get into. But like that, I was really pleased to see him take the shot early and actually take the shot. You know, a few times this season, he will have taken an extra touch, got it out wide. Yeah, I think you know, if he can get some of them shot, like I say, we've got to follow them in with bodies in the box. But that shot, you know, it could clip a defender, go out for a corner, it could take a deflection, go in. They're the type of things that, especially at home, and to get the game going, get some shots and build that stuff. So, but no, it was lovely measured. Like you say, it was placed, but with power. I thought it was just a great start to the game. I thought, you know, it looked like something ideal to build on. Yeah.
Everton's 1500th Premier League goal it was as well.
Yeah.
So, and it was a peach. But unfortunately, a lot like Andre Gomez's solitary goal for us, it'll be confined to the dustbin because it meant nothing, ultimately. But it was a perfect start, and Goodison was bouncing, as you'd expect. And I was looking at the body language of the United players, and they were kind of looking around each other, you know, looking around it to go, here we go, here we go again.
Did they?
And I thought, we could run all over these now. If we keep doing what we've been doing, keep the pressure on, make it tough for them. And like you said, we just, I don't know what happened.
Voluntarily
we just
gave that.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was, I honestly don't know whether it was a case of our players thinking, we're winning against you. And I don't know why, because as you know, United are a huge football club, but they're not a tremendous side. They're a decent side. They're a good, I think they're a better side than people give them credit. People like to write them off and call them crap and this, that. They're not. You look at that team. Defensively, I don't think they're great.
Casemiro coming in,
Casemiro
start, wasn't it?
Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. He's been played with Brazil. He's a really good centre midfield player. Bruno Fernandes, I don't like the fella, but he's a fantastic footballer. Christian Eriksen, what a footballer. Martial's a threat. Rashford's a threat.
Martial's only a threat when he plays us.
He's done all right lately. He's done all right. Obviously, they have Ronaldo on the bench. You know, they've got players who can cause you issues. Of course, they have. So you have to be aware of that. But I don't know why it was almost like someone flicked the switch and we went into retreat mode when really what we should have done was gone for the jugular.
100%. I mean, everything you've just said there, all those players you mentioned one of the defenders as one of the top players. So that's what you need to know. Get at them. No, don't allow those players to get on the ball, to get comfortable, to feel the ball, to for me the worst part was to get the crowd quiet, you know, and lose all that energy. You know, they tried to keep it going for a little bit, and you just ebbed out. You know, the time of day for the kickoff, by the way, is absolutely shite. Other than
kickoff,
at least it doesn't ruin your weekend after the defeat, because your
don't
weekend's gone.
You find yesterday just hanging around for the
you're sort of just waiting for it, aren't you?
Yeah, like, you know, obviously Zach's footy in the morning.
Yeah,
and
you've been waiting 48 hours for
it. All day.
You wait the whole weekend, weren't you?
All waiting for it, you know.
No, it is.
Waiting for Zach's footy for 48 hours, yeah. No, but you're hanging around all day. It's like you come home and there's that bit of limbo, like, you know,
can't do anything else until you go,
and all of that, and then you go and it was pissing that. Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It is a horrible one.
You know, I'm people will be bored with me saying it, but I'm a big advocate of R12 on a Saturday and it's out the way. I like it early. I like to not have to wait for it, because my mind's on it all week, so I want the game.
Yeah,
do you know, having to wait till everyone's played, and then it's you. R4's bad enough for me on a Sunday, so 7 o'clock. But anyway, it was what it was. I apologise. It went a little bit quiet around the 15-minute mark, and then we give the fans everything they needed to go, oh God, here we go, by giving us what for me is a stupid goal. Idrissa Gueye has been brilliant since he come back in. He really has. I know
it was a week ago.
He gave a loose ball away against Southampton, which they scored, but other than that, he was brilliant. Yeah, he had, for me, the worst 25 minutes I've ever seen him have last night in the opening 25.
It was incredible,
wasn't it? Appalling.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't think I've ever said that about Ghana, ever.
Yeah.
He was just so far off it. He was loose in possession, which he's not been.
Yeah.
You know, he come on in the derby a few weeks ago for his debut and looked like he'd never been away. Fitted into a tough game, controlled the game, was great in possession. Last night looked like he'd never kicked the football.
Strange, like I say, it was a week ago, wasn't it? We sat here.
And we were lyrical about him, yeah.
I'm basically saying his possession side of his game looked like he's improved since he was last year, taking the ball under pressure. I don't know. I can't tell you what was up with him. I have no idea, but he was chalk and cheese. Looked like a
He'd already give the ball away on the edge of our box under no pressure by taking his eye off it as he tried to beat someone. He took it off, and I think Connor Cody got him out of it with the little toe poke. And then we have the ball advancing. So you're thinking, like, let's do something with it. Now, Iwobi rolls it to him, and he just takes his eye off the ball. So we've got the stills that in the build up to this, but Iwobi gives him the ball when it comes on, and gone. It will come on now. Iwobi's just about to roll him the ball. Now, when you stop at it there, so we're all in there half. We've got Mykolenko here on the left.
Yeah.
You can see, obviously, Demarai Gray, Maupay, nice and set, Gordon, Iwobi. So as Ghana's about to receive this ball, we are quite clearly on the attack. Just move it on one. Right, he gets his touch like he normally does, which is nice and tight. He's got that arrow, as you can see, the pass out to Demarai Gray, who's on his own here.
Yeah.
Coming out, is it Demarai Gray, is it Mykolenko? Anyway, Everton have got a player out here on the left. Loads of space. He just gets that out of his foot and plays it out, which is what he normally would do. We are forcing United back. And unfortunately, I think he takes his eye off the ball and it rolls under his foot.
Yeah.
And they spring us. He's lost momentum now. So already we're on our heels because they're about to pinch the ball. And I think it's just rolled off to Martial. And now you can see Mykolenko here. Anthony's the wrong side of him for a start. Martial's got it. We take it on again. Martial rolled it into the space. You know, Cody and Tarkowski. Do
you think Cody needs to come across there to help Mykolenko?
I don't know whether Tarkowski should come across and then let Cody go to the middle. I don't know, to be honest with you, mate.
Is it Tarkowski left side?
Here,
Tarkowski
closer.
Should be coming across.
So should he come across?
I think he should be.
Doesn't.
Mykolenko's higher up.
He's higher up.
Because he should be, though, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
he was attacking. He's trying to join in. And obviously, see, Tarkowski's ran in a straight line there, which means he's no closer to Anthony than when he started. And Miko's trying to get
pressure on him, is he?
Now, what about Pickford? Now, before we take it on, what about Jordan Pickford's positioning here? I've seen, there's a stat here, I'll just read it out, that has been sent. Someone had put it on Twitter about the positioning. So, it's JD Harrison 1 on Twitter is talking about Jordan Pickford, saying, rushing out of his 6-yard box, he made the situation harder for himself and easier for the striker. So his model, this JD Harrison's model, I don't know what he's got, but he's got a model that says this is a 38% chance for Anthony, and it turns into a 59% chance of a goal because of Jordan Pickford's decision to come rushing out.
Yeah.
If you see the next one, which is Anthony steering it round, and Pickford's gone to ground, and he does. I didn't realise it at the time in the game. As Anthony, I thought he dinked it over him, and it just spun in, but we just looked at it again, and he actually gets his hands on the shot.
Yeah, he gets 2 hands on it.
And that ball bobbles into the corner of the net.
Yeah, see, for me with that, I feel like him coming out was the right thing to do.
Okay.
But he's gone down too soon for me, and then he's made that chance a little bit easier for Anthony. I know he's obviously trying to preempt the fact he's going to go that way, but if you're going to preempt he's going to go that way, then you've got to get it.
Yeah.
You have to get it, because you've put all your eggs in one basket, and he hasn't. I don't think he's helped out there, like I say, with Tarkowski not putting any pressure on Anthony. If he'd come across, and we'll go on to the next goal, because if he'd come across and put a bit of pressure on Anthony and made him, either be on his right foot or make the angle a little bit different.
Which we know he doesn't like his right foot as much as Dwight McNeil doesn't like his right foot.
So that decision making for Pickford would be easier. I feel like he's come out and that's fine, but he's gone down. He needs to stay big there for me. And if they bend one into the top corner or they do something, so be it. But I feel like that one, for me personally, he's come out and it's fine, but he's gone down way too soon. Yeah. Stay big as long as you can and make the attacker go first. You know, you've been a striker. I think as soon as the keeper goes down, it's decision done for you, isn't it?
You don't need to think, do you? And that really was like someone putting the pin in the balloon fully for the atmosphere, wasn't it? I think everyone was so buoyed by Iwobi's goal. They were so deflated because we'd give the ball. If United had carved us open with it happens, you just go, come on, let's pick it back up. But the fact that we gifted them it, and then I'm not convinced that as a fan base we believed we'd get another goal. And I think this is born out of the fact that we just haven't got a lot of goals in our team. I think I might be wrong, and quite clearly I don't speak for anyone but myself. But I think in the past when we've had attacking players who've got goals, you think you can score 3 or 4 goals a game. Yeah. So if you let a goal in, and don't forget, it only went to 1-1.
Yeah.
So we just back to where we started. But if you've got goals in your team, you think, we get another one.
Yeah.
There's no issue here. You know, we just pick ourselves up. I just wonder, because we've not really demonstrated, other than last week at Southampton, the first time we scored more than 1 in a game. I just wonder if subconsciously, or maybe even consciously, people were like, we've kind of scored our goal, that's it. Because you look around that team, Damari Gray doesn't really get you a lot of goals. Maupai is, I think, 4th game. He's only, he might get 8 or 10. Anthony Gordon doesn't score a lot of goals. There's no real number of goals in midfield. Defenders aren't scoring. We haven't got Dom.
I think you're right. I think like the basis of the positive results we've had so far have been based on how solid we've been, haven't we? And us, you know, competing more potentially. Like you say, we don't necessarily look like we're going to be free flowing from the goal side of it. So from that perspective, we've not necessarily, you know, last season there was loads of individual errors for goals. This season we've pretty much eradicated it up until this week. And I don't know about, again, you're talking for anyone else, but that after we scored and we retreated and the way we positioned ourselves and then the mistake, it just felt last season. It was the first time this season felt like last season to me.
I agree.
And it was just like, what I would say is I do think for the first few minutes after that goal, the fans did have a little reaction.
They did.
A little reaction to try and get it going. And then we went, boom, back into that shape again, and everyone just went, oh, I'm not going to score. That's what I felt like, because if our reaction to that goal going in was, right, let's get back at these again.
Get in the face, everyone would have been engaged.
And this is why I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's the players or the tactics by the manager, don't know, obviously we don't know. But whatever it is, it was just so wrong, because when we're at home, we need to harness the fact that those fans are behind us and make that
keep
atmosphere
them engaged.
100%. And
well, you've just shown me a stat there from the first half, and we only had 1 shot at goal. Which is, and we scored it, but 1 shot.
45 minutes at home.
At home, how?
It's just, it's baffling, isn't it?
Again, and I think Frank Lampard and his coaching staff are doing a good job. I really
do.
I feel like it's totally and utterly like night and day the way I feel about this team compared to 12 months ago. Absolutely night and day.
That performance and that result, and I'm talking about the performance as well. With Benitez as the manager, my head would be falling off.
Yeah. So, no, I agree.
And it's not.
I agree. And I think that's what he's been able to do, and the fans have been magnificent for months now. And it's not, like I said, the team's job is to engage the fans. The fans they welcome the coach. Like I said, noisy at kick-off time, scored the goal, noisy, great celebrations. When they equalised, like you said, the fans started trying to get them going again. The players have got, and the manager does touch on this actually, does speak about this after the game and say, it's our job to keep the fans engaged in the game. And it was their job, and they didn't do it. And it is the fit. Listen, I'm not going all sensationalist here, because it's the first time I think this season we've not done it. We haven't been amazing at every game. Of course we haven't. But I think we all knew coming into the season we were pretty crap last season.
Yeah.
The place wasn't very good. Lampard done a really good job, I think, in galvanising everybody.
100%.
Even if the performances weren't brilliant, he galvanised us. We got to the summer, we all knew we needed players. The team's totally different than it was last season. I think against Chelsea at home, it was a penalty separated the two. We should have got a draw. Villa, we should have got a draw at. You know, and then Forest at home, we didn't play very well. But
and they were before the players had all come in.
Before the players had come in as well, really. You've made a big difference as well. Your midfielders and Garner and people like that. And it's got better and better and better. Yeah. Last night was the first, I agree with you, it felt a bit like a last season performance. And what I mean by that is we just didn't have any kind of oomph in us at all.
It looked like
it looked like we just played in Europe on Thursday and not Manchester United did.
Literally what I was about to say. It looked like we'd been the team that had been in Cyprus. It was strange, and like I say, for me, what frustrated me was the lack of energy and the lack of, like I say, we sat here last week and we've done it on the lives. We know there's going to be ups and downs. There's no two ways about that, and that's fine. We know the team's in transition. We know the managers, got to implement what he needs to implement into the team. But just the lack of energy and agency was, up until the last 10, 15 minutes, but the lack of energy and agency was really disappointing for me, because that's what I think the fans have all got behind. Yeah. For me, and again, like you say, the great stuff is the managers come out, Tarkowski come out, they all know it wasn't good enough. They've all said so it's not that they don't know, but we can't see too many of them. No. We can't, because that was everything that we don't like about a football team.
For me, if we would have had a real good go at that last night and battled and scrapped if we'd have had the last 15 minutes for the whole of the second half and it ends 2-1, you'd go, one of them. Yeah. They had a little bit of quality. We made mistakes. They beat us. Wouldn't feel the way you do. It's totally. The fact that there was the first 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than the first 10 minutes. The last 10 or 15 minutes, fine. But the middle hour was really bad, really poor from us.
It was poor.
It was passive, like the manager said. We allowed a team that's got really good technical footballers to just have the ball and do what they wanted.
Which is strange.
They didn't threaten as much as what I would have thought, and what we've been used to with Manchester United sides over the years. But they were also never in any danger of conceding until the last 10. It was comfortable for them, and they were able to pop it off to each other and knock it around. They were comfortable, and we've got to be better than that, because we have been, without being creative, without being without being kind of able to cut people open. We've been very combative in every game.
We're not expansive, are we?
But, but take the derby, for instance. Their keepers had to make some good saves. They've had to make some important blocks, otherwise we'd have won that. And that's against an excellent side, a better team than United are, in my opinion. Liverpool, much better. Right now, United might develop, and Ten Hag will probably develop them, and they've certainly got good enough players to get better. But we didn't really play to our potential, and that's what's frustrating, because you've used everything you've got going for you, and we couldn't engage the crowd. Yeah, we couldn't.
It come out of nowhere as well. That's the thing. I think we've all gone there, and I think we can speak for everyone here. We've all gone there expecting not to win, but a level of performance that we've seen, and that I did not expect to see that at all. Just energyless,
It was energy. You're absolutely right, and it got worse obviously just before half time. We didn't really make any inroads into Manchester United. Like I said, they had the best chance they had was a Casemiro header, which he probably should have scored. He ran in unmarked and headed it wide. He should have scored, just and put them 2-1 up, but he missed it. And that really, what annoyed me was there was no wake up calls for us at all. The goal should have been a wake up call.
Exactly like last season.
That header should have been a wake up call. It wasn't. We just carried on doing. And when we'd have possession and break, we'd give the ball away, or someone would make the wrong decision, and that's exactly what we did for the second goal. And it's Alex Iwobi who has been in tremendous form for us, and we see him maybe pick it up here, and this is just a few seconds before he's going to try the step over that goes wrong. Now he's got options here. Onana's behind him, he could roll that back to him. Garner's obviously close to him, maybe he might want to play that ball. Anthony Gordon is in loads of space this way. If Iwobi comes this to the left and opens his body up, Anthony Gordon's a simple pass between two United players, and we're on the break here. And yet, for some reason, he could even really pop that round the corner to Gueye, but Gueye had have to spin. He takes it on, tries to do a step over, loses the ball, and now if you look, they're springing us, we're going the other way again. Casemiro does tremendously well, pinches it off him, plays a first time ball to Cristiano Ronaldo, who we've got circled. Now, from here, it's not too bad. You've got Cody tracking Ronaldo. Tarkovsky's obviously trying to get back in, so's Michalenko, and you've got Coleman, who was obviously on the attack, and it's been sprung, so he's having to recover. We take it on again towards the edge of the box. Cody is still going across. He's running in a straight line to cut off the angle for Ronaldo. There's still
forcing him on his left, isn't he?
And so keeping him on the left-hand side. Tarky's there as well. Michalenko's got Anthony, that's okay. Coleman's running in again. You know, we're not too bad right now because Ronaldo's entering the box, but on the angle. Take it on again. And this is where, for me, this is the strange bit about this goal, right? We've got Cody's almost caught Ronaldo up, but he's kept him on his left-hand side. Now, I don't understand where Jordan Pickford has gone here. I honestly do not understand. Pickford's been brilliant for us for 18 months, like really brilliant for us. But he still has these moments where he just makes me think, what are you thinking here? We've got the still here. Obviously, the ball's left Ronaldo's foot. But why is Jordan Pickford so far off his line? I've got a star on the goal line as to where I think generally the area Jordan Pickford should be.
Yeah.
And that is covering the near post, but with enough of an angle to dive far post.
Yeah.
If Cristiano Ronaldo pops that one into the far corner of the net, we seen a goal yesterday by Firmino for Liverpool. Not much Ramsdale can do about it, but Aaron Ramsdale's not so far off his line there.
Yeah.
He's covering the near post. If he gets beat on the far post, nothing you can do. We can go back and go, Iwobi shouldn't have done this, or could we have done this better? Iwobi shouldn't have given the ball away, but Alex Iwobi might turn around and go, I give that ball away midway inside Manchester United's half.
What I was going to say, just going back all them.
There's another two stills we're going to put up.
The Iwobi one.
Now, just come out of it 1 second, we'll go back into the other two just while Mike explains his point.
So for me, the Iwobi part of it, and look, obviously he's being caught and he shouldn't be, but I don't want us to become where we're bemoaning our attacking players, trying a bit of creativity. He's trying to create, like, that's how you score goals and create angles and create different runs. So he's just, he's playing as the number 8, number 10 type,
He's trying to create something.
So, all right, it's not ideal, but from where he is on the pitch, that what I'm trying to get at is you go, that's the part of the pitch you should be doing those type of things. Yeah, he's not doing it on the edge of his box, for instance. So he's in an attacking third. We're trying to get forward. From there to there, and that to go in the back of the net is just absolute madness, like madness. And I think, the Pickford positioning is. I don't think anyone can explain it. I don't even think he could explain it.
We'll put the other two stills we've got up. Here it is from behind the goal. Now, what's mad for me here is he's almost like in line with. I just don't understand why he's this far off his line. Exactly. If it was him, do you know what I would say, right? If Connor Cody isn't where he is, right? If Connor Cody's like where Coleman is, and it's Ronaldo running in,
and he can cut on his right foot.
Fair enough. He's running out to try and close an angle. It's him v him. He's not going to stay in his goal line because Ronaldo can just run in to the whole goal. Once there's a defender keeping a centre forward on his unfavoured foot, why would you increase the chances of a goal by coming out your goal? I'm not a goalie, and Alan Kelly might sit here and go, yeah, but he's trying to do this or that. But I've watched enough football over the years to know when you're favouring an attacker and when you're not. And for me, if Jordan Pickford is 3 yards further back, closer to his goal, it increases his chances of saving. Again, JD Harrison, that the chance goes from 31% to 67%.
Yeah.
Increase just by Pickford's position. If we take it on one, Ned, it's past him. And now he's diving with his right foot. Now, the one we haven't put on there is the one you showed me before, which is the one earlier in the still. when Pickford puts all his weight on his left foot and then has to shift it back to his right foot. So,
yeah. So
I mean, what are you saying about where he is?
So for me, there, like you say, you've got Cody's come back and he's done everything he needs to do there. He's got back in line with the attacker.
Yeah.
He's put him on his weak foot, on a tight angle.
Yeah.
Pickford's decision making, I can't explain it. I can't even give you any reason or rationale as to why he's gone there, because other than if Cody wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then that goes back to where I was saying I thought he'd done the right thing to come out for the Anthony one, but where he needs to stand big. But to be there, not only is he in no man's land there, he's also given up far too much room to his right. So he's too far out and he's given the near post.
Yeah.
So he's literally given the only way Ronaldo could score, he's given him it. If he'd have stayed, like you say, a couple of yards off his line, a couple of yards from his near post, and Ronaldo somehow, and I don't even think he would angle-wise would be able to, because Cody's there, be able to get at that left foot shot right across to the far post, then you just go to Ronaldo, fair play, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's not happening because Cody's there and he wouldn't be able to get that angle. B, it's highly unlikely. If he just stays a few yards there, like you say, he's fielding that ball. He's collecting it in. All Ronaldo's trying to do there is get good contact with his left foot. He's got good contact on the ball with his left foot, and also, and we've gone on the other still where he's dived past. Not only is his positioning all wrong and giving Ronaldo the only chance he can, even when he gets there and with the position he's in, which is horrific. He still makes a meal of it. He still should save it because he's gone down with his right hand to try and save a ball that's half a yard away from his foot. We were talking off camera. If that's the other end, David De Gea saved that was his foot.
Yeah.
Any goalkeeper coach, I would believe, would be expecting your goalkeeper to go for that with the foot.
With the feet.
100%.
Because it's on the floor.
Because it's on the floor and it's so close to your body. So you're trying to get your body out the way to get your hand down. Just stick your foot out. So even with all the bad positional play to where he's at, I still believe he still should have saved it as well. So he absolutely compounded error after error there. And like I say, I personally wouldn't want that to be a stain on Iwobi, because there's so much happened in between that, you know, I like your attacking players to try and have a little bit of flair around them. I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he can explain it. I don't think he'd be able to explain it. I'm sure he's looking back at it himself and he'll know he's made an error there.
He'll
and
be critical of himself because it was
like you say, he's capable of those things, and that's why he doesn't play for a Champions League level team. That's why he's at Everton. Sadly, you know, like you say, last 2 years he's been fantastic, but he will always be capable of those sort of rash nights, and he has them, and hopefully that's his one. It's out of the system. And like I said, I don't think he's the whole game. I don't think he put himself in glory. I don't think his kicking was great. I think his decision making was poor. I think he made the defenders feel a little bit nervous as well when he's normally being a bit calm. And so he was pretty much, the Everton team have managed to mug us off after last week of everything we said about everything positive that had happened. You know, Garner's nice in possession, Pickford stepping up, like they literally in a week they've managed to make us look silly. But we also did have the caveat that we know there's going to be ups and downs. Like I say, there's, you know, these players aren't Champions League level players. No. They're not that level. So there's going to be ups and downs along the way, and hopefully they've just all got it out the system in one night.
Fingers crossed. We come out for the second half and it was better. It was better. We were a bit more competitive. It wasn't massively better, but it improved. United.
Were you expecting a sub at half time?
No.
See, I was.
But who though?
So, well, I said to you, I had took Garner off and brought James Garner on.
Would you?
I just thought Garner was having such a bad game, and I understand the side of, you know, it doesn't look great, does it, from a managerial perspective to manage that situation. But fundamentally, there's a game there and points to be picked up. And
I'll be honest, I expected after about an hour.
Yeah.
The subs. I expected Dom to be on after about an hour.
I just thought you couldn't see Garner getting back into the game.
No, but I think he does that role better than anybody though. It's like James Garner done really well when he come on. We'll have a look in a minute of his stats and stuff. Would you put him on in the 6 and get him playing progressively as a 6?
Or put Onana back. He started the season putting Onana.
I think the thing is, you see, the problem with that is he's quite clearly looking at Onana to break into the penalty area. And we've seen in the second half, he's had 2 headers that he should have hit the target.
We did say last week he can't header.
Exactly. No, but that's again, we've got a ball's being put in by, I think it was Idrissa Gueye, and he escapes the fella and nets it wide. He's got to hit the target. It's as bad as Casemiro's for me, because he's got the clear header and he just heads it wide. And then there was another one come over and he's headed it over off a corner. I think it was. He jumps, he's on his own, he heads it, and 50 pence head over the bar. So that's quite clearly a tactic Everton are trying to get, because he's so physically strong and big, get him 1v1 against defenders. So I think
probably against Martinez as well.
Moving him back to in a 6. Is he as good in possession as what Garner is? Probably not. I know, listen.
I just think he was having that. He had that bad in the 45 minutes.
He took him off, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he could see it. It's not like he can't see it. But I was expecting the subs at around the hour mark, quite clearly. With Dom, they're just trying to make sure.
Yeah, we don't know how much in him, do we?
You know, we put him on for half an hour and then I don't know. They know the load.
Yeah, they know what to do. Yeah.
But, we had a bit more of a go. United weren't great. They, like I said before, they didn't have to be. They just controlled it. They've got the big difference for me, a big stark difference for me, was when they nicked the ball, they passed it forward, and when we got the ball, we passed it back.
Yeah.
And that, to me, it was just night and day watching it. Was going, hang on. And I know we do that a lot, but last night when you seen the opposition, who were always trying to get on the front foot, to our players, it's like in, and it's like right, turn them and off you go, spring them. We'd get it and be looking like we were gonna, and then we'd turn and go all the way back, and then all the way, and you're going, the idea is to put the ball in the net up the other end, boys. It's not to keep the ball back to our goalie and pass it along the back, because it's not like we go, well, we're going to work it that side and they're going to carve you open on there. The best, in my opinion, watching the game and watching Manchester United, the best way to score against them is to spring them and then fly at them, which we proved in the first half, and yet we just didn't do it enough.
No, they just looked like they were lacking in confidence, like I say, and I don't know why, because they've been on the back of a good run, and it can happen, can't it? But it does lead on, like I say, we don't really want to get into bashing everyone again, but Anthony Gordon's performance was absolutely, I don't know what's happened to him.
He was really poor last night.
Again, we were talking off camera, the actual football side of it, I don't particularly think he was great last season in terms of making the right decisions or getting goals and assists, whatnot. But his work rate and his desire, but where's that gone? Like I don't. He looks knackered.
Is it just? And he does look like he's not fully fit, but I don't know why. Is it a case of it's like second syndrome season for him? Second season syndrome, wrong way now. In terms of what I mean by that is, like, obviously last season was his real breakthrough season. And then this season, can he just not?
Is he trying to refine his game a bit?
Can he just not get that adrenaline going the way it was? Do people understand what he's gonna do now?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more difficult for him. The where I would kind of refute what I'm saying here is the work rate doesn't seem to be there, which was the key thing for him.
And there might be a fine balance to that in terms of the coaching staff, and Lampard might be a case of, you were running around like a lunatic too much. It was what we needed last season.
Yeah.
But again, to refine his game and to add those numbers, stats, assists and goals to his stats, maybe you can't run around like a lunatic like that, and you need to have a bit more, composure in them areas when you're not knackered. I don't know, but if you're having a game like he was having, where everything he touched just turned to rubbish, then get the crowd going, start putting yourself about. I suppose he chucked that tackle and then he got the yellow card. He's banned now, isn't he, for the Spurs game? But I just think the last few weeks, he's
just not been on it.
I don't know what it is, and obviously, like you say, in those areas we're light as it is. Damari Gray, he's just a hit and miss winger. He's capable at times, and then if you've got Gordon not necessarily delivering or performing or even looking a threat, for me, he just didn't. I don't know. I think, the runs there, the midfield being able to pass the ball forward, the people on, his Mopai showing for the ball. I thought he had an absolute mare as well, to be
Anthony
honest.
Gordon had 10 passes in the game.
Is that it?
He completed 8 out of 10 passes.
Yeah.
Right.
Were any of them forward?
I'll tell you now. he completed 2 out of 3 attacking third passes, which is terrible because he's there to create for us. I'm just going through. 8 out of 10 passes were short passes. Every one of them was a short pass. 4 forward passes.
He's just not influencing the game, is he? I think
take-ons, though, he completed 2 out of 3 take-ons, which is interesting. 1 ball recovery. Didn't win a single aerial duel. No, he didn't create any chances. He had 1 cross in the game which he didn't complete. Tackles, he won 2 out of 3 tackles, which we know he does. 1 interception. Where last season he had like 10 interceptions a game, 11 interceptions a game. But like you said, the situation, he had no shots in the game either, by the way.
See, for me, that's you can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
so he's attempted 1 cross and he didn't complete it, which is the one he put in the Bullen's Road in the first 6 or 7 minutes, and he's had no shots. And that's one of our attacking players. Now I could go through and have a look at like Marcus Rashford. Which is probably what I should do. So you talk and I'll have a look at it. Just for the simple reason that it's about comparisons, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. So for me there, you've got a situation there where with Gordon, even as well, just taking the stats side of it away, being in the ground and seeing it all happen, there was no impact. So even if the stats maybe showed something, he had no impact on that game at all.
So Anthony, that can be selective here, can't he? But Anthony had completed 30 out of 40 passes. Yeah. Obviously had a goal. 4 ball recoveries. 21 attacking third passes he attempted. Completed 16 of them.
Which is always going to be...
Won 50% of his tackles. Won 1 out of 2. Aerial duels. Marcus Rashford, 1 attempted goal. 40 passes, 33 completed. Completed 40% of his take-ons, 6 ball recoveries, 19 attacking third passes. Didn't win a tackle.
But that's not what they're there for,
created a chance, created 1 big chance, 50% of his crosses. So Anthony Gordon, and I know, listen, Manchester United have more of the ball, so then you'd expect them numbers to be a bit higher, but 1 cross that you've attempted in a game, that's it. For someone
who
winger needs to create.
Not have a shot the whole game. I can't
How can you, if you're a winger, a wide forward, and you are having 1 cross in a game, which you don't even put in the right area, and you're having no shots, and you're playing 60 odd minutes, what on earth is going on? What is going on? Because it's, and this isn't, listen, I'm not like kind of bashing Anthony Gordon as such.
No, it's more just we want to understand what is going on, isn't
I'm
it?
looking at it from an Everton team perspective. I think people can sometimes get too sensitive over players when you're just looking at it. I think Anthony Gordon's a good footballer. He's done really well since he got in Everton's team. Right now, it's not happening for him. It's just not happening. He's had, certainly at Goodison, I don't think he's had a good game this season so far. I don't think his better performances have been at Leeds, where he was excellent. Brentford, where he was excellent. They were the best 2. Villa, he was all right at the goal disallowed. He was decent there. But if you're in Everton's team, in a team that doesn't get a lot of goals, and you're in one of the 3 attacking positions, you've got to contribute. You've got to be having 5 or 6 shots a game. You've got to be putting in 8 to 10 crosses a game. You've got to be.
No, I mean, you
talk, because I want to have a look at the Marty Grace.
Yeah, well, you talk about it quite a lot on the channel about like the Moneyball situation and all that stuff. But if you are compiling a football team based on stats and you're looking at that, then there's, from an attacking perspective, there's absolutely delivering nothing, is he? In that game, you know, I'm not saying this is all the time. In this game, delivered absolutely nothing. Now, for me, if your stats are that appalling as an attacking player, then the least I want to see is that energy, that drive, that throwing yourself about. And that's what I was sort of alluding to, was last season, his stats probably weren't that dissimilar to that. I don't think he produced in a lot of games.
But don't we need more?
No, 100% we need more. But what I'm trying to get at is, he didn't have those stats last season, but at least he had the endeavour and he got the crowd. Because for me,
he was the one who engaged the crowd.
This is what I'm saying. It's massive that for Everton. And he got everyone behind and got us putting tackles in and chasing down the goalies and making the goalies slice kicks out and stuff. All those sort of untangible, non-stat related things that you can just visually see. Now that's gone as well. And there's no, because for me, if that's gone and that endeavour's gone and you say, well, Lampard's asked them to refine that side of it because we want him in those areas, we need them in the right areas of the pitch, and you can see the stats growing and you can see more shots, and you know, if we get a proper striker on the pitch, that's probably over the top up high, but you get like a Dom on the pitch, then you can see what he's doing, but you can't see that either. So there's at the minute something's amiss, and I don't believe this, by the way, but I know, just haven't seen it, and obviously cynics will all say it, and it does time-wise sort of allude to that, is, you know, since the transfer window's closed, and this is where,
well, he's given people a excuse. He's given people a stick to beat him with. And go, he wanted out. And listen, I think he probably did want to move. He probably did. I don't think he's not a massive Evertonian, you know. And this means nothing, by the way. But apparently he was a Liverpool fan as a kid, so what? So he's not a big season ticket going Evertonian. So for him, it's a career, right? He's done brilliantly for Everton, and I don't believe he ever crosses the white line and doesn't want to do well. I don't believe that. I know some people go, his head's not in it. I don't believe that. But what happens is when you're not putting the same amount of effort in after you've had a lot of reports and speculation, it gives people the opportunity to hit you with a stick, where the reality won't be that. He's a professional footballer. He's always said he loves it at Everton and all that. The reason why I'm saying he probably wanted to move is that I've even seen his interview after it didn't happen, and he said something along the lines of, I wasn't desperate to leave. That's not the same as I really wanted to stay. And we know, because if I come to buy you and you're not interested in joining my club, it's a very short conversation. I don't bid for you a couple of times, and I don't keep giving it to the press. I've got no issue with that. He's a young man, and he probably seen Chelsea, thought big money, Champions League club. All right, he mightn't have seen the Ross Barkley, he mightn't have gone, well, Ross Barkley went there and has done well.
At that time, you're believing in yourself.
You believe in yourself. So I've got no problem with that, and I don't believe he's going, well, I'm not going to run around now because I didn't get me move. But just for whatever reason, it's just not happening for him, and maybe Frank.
But what I don't get or can't grasp though is that running around,
why
and
he's
that
not doing
is why he got that interest. So if he's not now performing or producing stats to go with the lack of running, then why would anyone come back in for him anyway? He's not going to force a move.
Well, we'll have to just monitor it. He's out the next game anyway, and then hopefully Newcastle, who were one of the clubs interested in him, hopefully he'll come back to that. Damari Gray, from his thing, had one attempt at goal. He had 17 passes, 83% pass completion. He had 2 out of 6 take-ons, 3 ball recoveries. He only had 7 attacking third passes, but attempted 11 crosses. Completed 3 of them, which isn't good, but at least he's attempting the crosses. Corners, he had 50% accuracy off his corners. Won 100% of his tackles, though, Damari Gray. So at least he's, as frustrating as he can be, at least he is trying to get us on the front foot.
With him, you know, certainly yesterday he looked like the most.
He's the most likely to do something.
Biggest threat, but that's concerning, because to me he's just not delivering at all at the moment either. I think he's holding on to the ball too long. He's indecision with what he's trying to do with the ball. I don't think he necessarily knows. But these are all negatives. We know the attacking third issues. We're fully aware of them, aren't we, as fans? So like, you know, there's no point massively going on and on about it, because we know that we had them issues when the transfer window closed, and the club know those issues, because we were linked with players, or not even linked. We were in pursuit of players in those areas anyway, so they're fully aware of them. I suppose we've just got to get our heads down and work with what we've got for a bit. But Dom coming back will help as well.
Oh God, massively. And I think why I was so disappointed, it's just the performance, not even that he's. Just because it was so alien to what we've been doing. But that's the way it is. We did get to see James Garner and Dom. Obviously, big raw when Dom come on the pitch. That's great.
I honestly thought Dom had a real positive impact though.
Yeah, he done.
Without really doing anything.
The game turned back in our favour a little bit when he come on the pitch.
He made a couple of real good runs into the channels.
Won a few headers.
You know, occupied the defenders a little bit.
Straight away. James Garner, I thought, come on and look nice and bright. Was wanted to get on the ball.
Composed on the ball.
He's 21, you know, he's got a big future ahead of him. and almost come up with the equaliser. You know, the only other shot we had on target was his one, and Onana's a centimetre away from meeting it to make it 2-2. De Gea makes a brilliant save because he's got people running at him as well.
Because Onana's so close
as he's there, and he just tips it away. And we had a real good go at them near the end. They'd had a goal chalked off for handball by Rashford, rightly so, which would have made it 3-1. And then we really put them under pressure, and obviously Rondon come on as well, or, you know, yeah, he come on and I think just give them a little bit of a physical presence. But we were all, I felt like, even though I couldn't sit here and dispute Manchester United didn't deserve to win, you know, I think they probably did, but I think the introduction of Garner made a big difference for us, because he was someone who got us on the front foot again, and Dom, like you said, and I can argue a case of we were, I suppose at the end we could say, well, we could have got a draw out of it, even though
they're two different things. We could have got a draw. Did we deserve one? Probably not. But we could have. We kept ourselves in a position throughout the game, and this is what again we've seen off camera, where with the spine of the team that we've got now, you know, we're managing to at least stay in those games. You know, last season I think the Everton interviewer said, and he's right, like Lampard was, you know, the interview said, you know, last season, couple of seasons ago, that game would have just been gone away from us. And Lampard's right to say, I'm not really bothered about that, you know, like, because that's not a great thing to sort of base it on. But I could see where the interview was coming from, because
I'd say we still could have got a draw in the end.
The last few minutes we were still in the game.
I mean, but James Garner, like you said, he almost come up with an equaliser. But let's have a look at his numbers, because it was obviously his debut. He only on for 15 minutes. He had 9 touches, so, you know, more than Anthony. 83% passing accuracy, 1 shot on target and 1 shot blocked as well. No, yeah, he didn't half it, the one well, he got blocked, which was literally the last kick of the game. It dropped to him, and I thought, he's not. Imagine he's smashing the top on, he hit it well. It was, I think it might have been Casemiro, made a brilliant block on it. But he looked nice and bright and a little bit different to any of the other midfielders.
Yeah, that's what's good, isn't it? It's good to have people on the bench to be able to come on and actually impact the game. So I thought he looked, actually, I'll be deadly honest, I didn't see any of him last season, so I can't, like where people have watched Forest and stuff, I hadn't seen him, so I didn't really know what to expect with him. Obviously watched the under-21 game, only coming in, he looked really good in that, but you can't tell again with the 21 level. But no, he come on, he's got a good physique around him as well, he looks quite athletic, gets around the pitch, shows for the ball, wants the ball under pressure, and again, I think that's a good character trait from a young lad. But that instant impact to just get a shot away, I like that, and I hope that doesn't, I don't know, we have players come into Everton that do that, and then it suddenly drains out of them, but hopefully you can keep that up. No,
that ball delivery is very good as well. If he's on the pitch long enough where we can get him on corners and stuff, he'll make a big difference.
Did you think, bit surprisingly, he didn't put McNeil on the left once Calvert-Lewin come on? Yeah. Because he'd done really well on the left, or he improved on the left.
Gray won't cross it with his left, and McNeil won't cross it with his right. So I had to switch them over.
We had Rondon and Calvert-Lewin up front.
Just get the ball.
And we were having to cut back in to then put the balls in. And don't get me wrong, I thought he put a couple of great balls in, McNeil, cutting back in on his left as well. But I feel like, from the attacking perspective, for the attacker, to get the march on the defender, if that ball's coming in first time, don't know, it seemed a little bit of a strange one that he didn't even try.
But just go back to Iwobi, because I meant to look at his numbers before, because he was, again, he had another good game, despite the mistake in terms of just not keeping it simple. But you know, we've already said there was other stuff that should have happened. But he had 65 touches, 73% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, 1 goal and 2 interceptions. And again, he showed us he was excellent. Well, he's had better games, but when I say excellent, he worked his socks off.
Got a good base level now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and don't get me wrong, he's had better games than he had last night, and he's had more influential games, but I still thought he'd run around and he worked hard and put them under pressure, and then obviously we shoved them at right back as well.
Yeah.
For that, and he went and done a decent job there as well. So the one thing, and I've seen other people, and I've done the earlier live today on Premier, a couple of people were like, you know, Coleman, get him out the team and all that. You know, play Iwobi right back, and it's like, and someone else said, let's get Garner in and play Iwobi on the wing, and it's like, is there a danger by doing that we undo the good work Lampard's done? Do you know what I mean? It's like, would we say, play Amadou Onana on right wing, or I play Amadou Onana at right back, or play Tom Davies at, well, no, people have said
Should play Michael Keane up front if you watch them saying.
Oh God, Michael Keane.
Have you seen him again through the week?
Why are we looking for a striker when we've got Michael Keane?
Big Keane.
Paul Borehurst. for the younger viewers, just type Paul Borehurst in. Or Chris Sutton. There's a danger, isn't there, with Iwobi, that because he's so flexible and versatile,
I think I'm on your side of it. I'm on your side of it. I think he's performing so well in that position that why on earth would you look to move him out of that position? Albeit, again, I can see the counter side in terms of people trying to come up with solutions for that attacking element of the field. I just don't think it's at the club, and I think
all right. We've got Tottenham away on Saturday. We've got no Anthony Gordon now.
Yeah,
he's suspended. Right. So do we just put Dwight McNeil in and say, right, Dwight McNeil just comes in because Anthony Gordon's not there and he needs one? Or is there an argument for this game? And I'm going against my own arguments here. But is there an argument for this game that Alex Iwobi plays wider off the front three? Because he can protect Seamus Coleman if we're going with him on the right. And it's an opportunity to put James Garner in midfield. Because obviously, I don't know what's happening with the core. He wasn't in the squad yesterday, and hopefully it's not too. Hopefully he's just got a little bit of illness or something. Or is that undoing everything we've done well with Iwobi? Is it easier to just go Dwight McNeil, you start?
So for me, the two options I would probably look at is either, like say, put McNeil in and just keep the framework we've been working in, or alternatively, what I would do for an away game, and I certainly wouldn't do for home, more just a tough away game, is, but I could see bringing Garner in and taking one of the wide players out and having Iwobi more as a higher number 10, but I'd still have him through the middle of the pitch, 100%. And
have James Garner on like the right as like a protector? Potentially,
Garner, James Garner sort of together. It would be a very narrow sort of formation, but I feel like you could have a little bit of more steel in the middle and a bit more getting on the ball and trying to retain possession a bit more away from home. But
more of a 4-5-1.
Yeah.
So that we just...
But having Iwobi as the lad who's a little bit higher up. But I don't know, like I say, it's difficult, I suppose. If you're at the... your Lampard, your coach staff, you see how the opposition team plays and so on and so forth. For me, Tottenham are a very narrow team. They don't really create a lot from out wide. Their wide players come in and get goals from it. So crowding the inside might not be the worst thing in the world. But again, is it a little bit of just an overreaction to, the 4-3-3 has been working and keeping us solid and keeping us in games. And I do think that's Everton's best formation. I just think the players that we need just aren't at the club. They're just not there. Those attacking third players just aren't there.
We need a wide player that can score goals.
At least one.
And for me, we need another centre forward.
We
need someone who's in the middle of Maupay and Dom. And what I mean by that is, I think the difference is, for me, is that if we start with Maupay and then we bring Dom on, the way we play is totally different. Maupay, saying this before, Neil Maupay is basically my size.
Coming short.
So if I'm playing, you've got to play. But he doesn't run off the shoulder, which is weird. So everything's got to be into my chest, into my feet, for me to keep it. And then I've got to have people running around me. Dom comes on the next minute. He wants things up here because he's so aerially strong. He's not going to spin you and run in. Everything will be on his chest or in the air. And he'll win things and flick it on. Maupay's dropping short. Everton need a centre forward, which is why I wanted Breuer, who come on and scored a cracker on Saturday. I know Everton tried to get him and he couldn't get him. But what Everton need as the other striker is someone who goes knocking, I'm going, and he'll spin in behind.
Like for like.
To give up, but he physically got to be similar to Dom. But we've got nothing in that. We've got Rondon, who isn't going to do that.
Isn't he?
He's just there. So therefore, in January, Everton really need to try and move him on and go and bring another striker in. And I'd go for Terry Moff. You've got another couple at the weekend. Someone like that.
I think you're right. I think there's something to be said about playing in one way, occupying the defence and causing them one issue, to then completely changing that during the game and showing something different for the defenders.
I agree, you need different solutions always, but for me, we can't build anything because we're not. If Maupay, like I like Neil Maupay, I think he's a good squad player and I think he will get some goals for Everton. But we can't. But if you had two wingers who got 10 goals each, then yeah. But we've got to have a threat through the middle, and that threat has got to be someone who can run in behind. It's modern football. Maupay's not. He's not quick, is he? He's not slow.
No.
But he's not fast. There was one in the first half. Onana wins the... It's at 1-1, I think. Onana wins the ball and threads a ball through to Maupay. Maupay jogs the other way and then goes like that. And Onana's played it. And off the shoulder striker, but they let it run across him and he was running it on De Gea. And he's not... Maupay, I showed you the average positions. His average position was in Everton's half as a centre forward.
It was... No, I mean... Look, the attacking third is at the minute is an issue, and it's how do you solve the problem of getting goals into the team, isn't it? I certainly don't think you can rely on obviously Calvert-Lewin even up until the transfer window. As in, I don't think he'll be starting games until after the World Cup.
I don't know.
How many games have we got?
About 4 or 5 of me.
I think they're really going to ease.
5, 6.
Always look at me, but I think they're really going to look to ease him in. I think. I mean, we do need... Maupay was a solution to just bringing someone in by the looks of it for me and added a character to the team. But like you say, there's no building a style of players that are around that because you're flipping it when someone comes in. I don't know. The attacking third is a conundrum, like a real conundrum, and how you come up with the solution, I don't know. But at the minute, McNeil doesn't look very dynamic, doesn't look like he adds more. I know he scored the other week, but and it sounds sort of stupid he scored, but he's not really adding anything to the team. Anthony Gordon doesn't look on it at all. Damari Gray is just hit and miss. He always has been. Maupay is we've got what we bought. He's delivering what we bought. He's an 8-goal a season striker and he scored 1 in 4 for us so far, so he's ahead of schedule on that. So you're going to get what you're going to get. So from that end of it, you are looking, you're looking at the bench on the Man United game and you're thinking, how do we change it from an attacking perspective? I don't know, and I don't know whether it's a formation change or whether we need to stick with the style of playing, stick with what we've got until we can get in the reinforcements.
Let's have a look at the stats for the game before we finish. Everton had 11 shots, Manchester United 12. 2 on target for the Blues, 4 for United. No big chances for Everton, 3 for Manchester United. 40% possession to 60, 375 passes to 609 passes. There you go. Not really much more.
Summed the game up, to be honest, didn't it?
Not much more to say on that. They control the game, and they took the still the biggest disappointment is we made 2 silly mistakes and it's given them the goal. You can't do that against a good counter-attacking side, and that's what they are. So, there you go. Big thanks to Mike. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. We're going to carry on now for a bit longer. The extended version on Premiere, but otherwise we will see you later.
X-rated then?
Extended, not X-rated. See you later.